Hello English learners, welcome back to another English with Michael video. This is my channel and today we are going to be looking at a feature of connected speech. So this is going to be really important if you want to improve your pronunciation and sound more natural when you're speaking English. So the feature of connected speech we're looking at today is called assimilation. And now you don't need to remember this word. It's just for the kind of really grammar-minded people out there. It might be useful to know or interesting to know. But basically, connected speech is where the pronunciation of a sound changes because maybe two words are kind of linked together. Maybe a sound is dropped, it's omitted, maybe the sound changes or something like that. So that's exactly what we're looking at today. Because assimilation is where the sound of a word changes based on what comes after it, usually. So before we go any further, I will give you one example so you know what I'm talking about. And I think a good example is the noun handbag. Handbag. So this is the bag that usually women will carry, maybe around their shoulder, like a small bag that might contain some money and some kind of tiny essential things. This is a handbag. It's a bag that you can hold in your hand. I guess that's why it's called that. But we don't usually say handbag because it sounds a bit too much, really. It just sounds a bit unnatural. No one says handbag. We usually will say hambag. Handbag. Did you hear how I pronounced it differently? So I did not say the D of hand, first of all, and also the N changed to an M for Michael, right? So I said hambag, hambag. And it sounds a bit weird because it's not even close to hand. Hand, ham. So this is an example of assimilation, and it's really important because it's going to make you sound more natural and people will hear you as closer to how a native speaker would sound. Let's put it that way. And the reason we do this is simply because it's easier to say. That's usually the reason. So handbag, it was quite difficult to go from that D to the B. Handbag, handbag. Right? It's a bit difficult for your mouth to jump to those sounds. And even from the N to the B, handbag, your mouth has to change a bit. But if you think about it, the M sound, a lot of it is in the lips, M. The B is also the same. Hambag, hambag. So it's much easier for your mouth to go to that next sound. So really what you're doing, your mouth is preparing to pronounce the next sound of bag, right? And it happens in many words, and I'm going to show you some of the common ones today. But I should also say, if you find this difficult or you cannot do it, don't worry. If you do say handbag, that's fine. Some people say that, and it's still perfectly understandable. And also it depends on your accent. People from different parts of the world will say it differently. Assimilation is common in American and British accents, and other accents, of course, but they will be a little bit different in each dialect. But let's have a look at some of the common patterns now. One really common one is a T changing to a P, TP. Especially when the T is followed by a P, B, or M, PBM, right? So I could say, I got bored, I got bored. Or I might say, I got bored, I got bored. So notice I didn't pronounce the T, and it sounded a little bit like a P. I got bored, I got bored. So we're not releasing the air on the P, we're not saying got bored, but it's half of a P sound, right? I got bored, yeah? That person is nice. That person, that person. Could you hear the difference there? Very subtle. If we're talking about a bomb, we could say the bomb blew. So it blew. It blew up, or it blew up. It blew up. Yeah, so the shape of your mouth is kind of pronouncing that P sound. It blew up. It blew up. Okay, see if you can think of any more that follow this pattern and let me know in the comments below. Another common one with a t is when it's followed by a k or a g sound. And the t transforms to a k, right? So a good example is credit card. Most people wouldn't say credit card. They would say credit card, credit card. So rather than credit, it sounds a bit like credit card, credit card, yeah? So another way of thinking of this is really the words are squished together and the T has disappeared. So the K is shared between both words. It's something like that, credit card. If you have a gun, maybe you lost your gun. So you could say, oh, where is my lost gun? My lost gun. So rather than saying lost gun, I'm kind of saying lost gun, lost gun. Where's my lost gun? I lost gun. Yeah, I lost my gun, I would say, but I lost gun. Another similar example is with a d, sound like a D, when followed by a k or a g, this would become a g sound. So I should go would turn into I should go, I should go. Oh, it's getting late, I should go. I should go, yeah. I could say I should go, but usually to my friends I would say I should go. If you want to be very helpful and help your partner or family clear the table after dinner, you could say, I could clear, or I could clear. I could clear the table, couldn't I? Could clear. Another one with D, if it's followed by a p, a b, or a m, it might become a b. So d becomes b in some cases. So this lesson could be difficult. Could be difficult. Could be difficult. Yeah, could you hear that one? Could be difficult. Or where am I going to park my car? I could park here. I could park here. Could park, okay? After I park my car, we should meet. We should meet up soon. We should meet, we should meet. I would park here and we should meet. I would park here, we should meet. So we're almost done here. I've got 3 more rules and the next 2 are related to the n sound. N, like N for no. And this is where the n might become a m. So a n for November becomes a m for Michael. And this is when it's followed by a p, a b, or a m. So how much fruit do you have in your fruit bowl? I think I have 10 pears. 10 pears in my fruit bowl. We could say 10 pears or 10 pears. 10 pears. So this is a very subtle one, but you might notice the n changes to a m. 10 pears. 10 pears. If you really love a musician or a band, you might be a fanboy or a fanboy. I'm such a fanboy. And finally, if you are looking for your keys, they might be in your room or in my room, in my room, in my. They are in my room, I think. I think my keys are in my room. The next one is when the n changes to a ng. So this is at the back of the mouth like the ng sound, ng. And this sometimes happens when the n is followed by a k or a g, k or g. I have 10 cars, 10 cars. So you can see the car, k, is kind of pronounced at the back of the mouth, right? K. It's just like the ng sound, the ng. So rather than 10 cars, we might say 10 cars, 10 cars. So normally when we say the n, your tongue is at the front of your mouth, n. But in this case, the tongue does not come to the front. We say a 10 cars. Stays at the back because it's easier, it's lazier, right? It's just much easier to do it that way. If you have an argument with your partner, they might say, I don't want to be here anymore. And you could say, then go, or then go, right? So hopefully you don't have to shout that one at anyone, but if you do, it might sound more natural at the back, then go. Okay, could you hear that one? Okay, the final one we can look at today is the s sound turning to a sh sound. And this sometimes happens when the s comes before another sh or a y sound, like a y. So if I want to say, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you guys, I could say, I miss you, I miss you. So it changes right to a sh, miss you. I think this one is a little bit more clear than the previous ones, right? I really, really miss you. Miss you, okay? Or if you have some shoes that you really like, or maybe you don't wear shoes anymore. I don't know why, you just go barefoot now. You can say, I really miss shoes. I really miss shoes. I want to wear more shoes. So here we go, miss shoes or miss shoes, okay? There's more rules that we could look at, but maybe that is for a future video. I'll leave it here today. I don't often make pronunciation videos, but if you like this, let me know, and there's loads more that I could make. I've got loads more ideas. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have some practice. Let me know more examples in the comments, and if you have any questions as well. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye for now.